Hit record. Yo, what's going on? What's going on, everybody out there? Doing a late night edition, you know what I'm saying, podcast, man. Just trying to get in here, jump in here real quick, and talk about some issues, that happened within a week. The Buffalo shooting. I gave my commentary last week on the Buffalo shooting, and of course, we have another mass shooting. Right, we had another mass shooting. Again, a continuation. This is no longer an outlier. This is the norm that unfortunately our kids have to come up with or live in living in some of these states. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about that for a little bit, and then talk about Columbusing Juneteenth. Making sure we're not black people out there gatekeeping Juneteenth, and talk about the stripping away of our rights. What's going on, bro?
Oh man, not much, man. As usual, we have a busy week. A lot of things going on.
You talking
Personally,
personally? Yeah.
yeah, personally, and obviously, there's a lot of moving pieces that's happened politically and
Hmm.
economically.
And you said economically?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. You talking recession?
Well, I'm talking about the recession. I'm talking about U.S. kind of pulling away from China. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of moving pieces going on right now.
Yeah. Especially with the China thing. Like I'm one of the few things I agree with Republicans on is that what I'm saying, we do need to make more things in this country in America. We stop doing that. You know what I mean? We 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 import more than we export. Yeah, we import more than we export. So what I mean. And that's why a lot of jobs are going overseas and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
man. A broken clock is right twice.
that's true. That's true, man. But yeah, man. I'm pretty sure everybody's heard about the Texas shooting by now. Kids in Uvalde, elementary school, or I'm sorry, Uvalde, Texas, Ross Elementary School. Of course, they had a shooting again, a continuation. This is not an outlier anymore. This is continuation. You know what I'm saying? And nor should it be the norm. And there's people who want it to be the norm. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I think that's, my thought is, and again, people send out thoughts and prayers, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody wants to do anything, right? You know what I mean? Send out thoughts. And it's like, how I always think of it is like Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, everybody's always like content of the character, color of the skin, because nobody wants to do anything else. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to go beyond, your belief systems, you know what I'm saying, or change it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And our country is the same way right now. You know what I mean? When it comes to protecting kids, people just don't want to do it. We got adults who don't want to protect kids. You know what I'm saying? We saw it with the mask mandate, right? How these adults didn't want to protect the kids, right? You know what I mean? They're talking about kids and oh, kids shouldn't be wearing masks, and they storming schools and storming school boards and things of that nature. And now these are the same individuals who are pretty much uh, um, diverting the conversation away from actually you know, doing actual things to protect children, such as drafting legislation or creating laws or something, doing something for public safety. They just rather, they just rather kids die. That's just where they at. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah. What's your thoughts on it, bro?
no, no, man, you hitting it right on the spot, right? Because as we seen time goes on, we, we watch grown people literally, basically, like put children in danger, and whether it's the way that we love guns in this country so
Hmm.
much that we are just desensitized to actually doing anything to even protect the children.
Yeah.
And I kind of made this argument to someone, and I'm like, I was letting them know, like, hey, I'm look, I'm 2A all day.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Second
saying?
Amendment.
Yeah, yeah, the Second
Hmm.
Amendment, man. I'm 2A.
Hmm.
But when it comes to children, I know how to put my 2A aside
Hmm. Hmm.
because there's no way that I'm going to choose my gun over children.
Right. Right.
And he, his comment was, how can both of those things exist?
What
And
do you
I
mean?
get that that's an adult person.
What do you mean how both of those things can exist? Like, it's the same reason, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't drive a car without red lights or stop signs. Like, they both can exist. They both can
Or,
exist.
or putting on your seatbelt.
Yeah, putting on your seatbelt. Like, yeah, the car can be a murder weapon too. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
This is the
these
laziness,
folks,
right,
man.
bro? Like this is the
Yeah,
lazy thinking
yeah,
that
man.
people don't want to take out the time to sit back and say, "Hey, let me stop and think about how my thoughts contribute to pain and suffering in society."
Right, man. I think it's more, our country just driving to be more individualistic, right? You know what I'm saying? Because if it ain't happening to me, then it ain't a problem, right? That's really how our a lot of, like, more than half of the people in this country think. If it ain't happening to them, they don't care. They
Yeah,
don't care, man. They don't care. And it's not a coincidence that, a year or so after Texas made it virtually easy to purchase a gun. They made it easier to purchase a gun than it is to go vote. That you had a mass shooting, on Tuesday, and then the next day, I believe, they caught a kid before he entered school, and he had an assault rifle. He had an AR-15 or AK-47 or something like that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, these are continuation things, and again, it is not about protecting kids. It absolutely is not. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to do anything, you know what I mean, except send thoughts and prayers. you know Especially a lot of the politicians, because a lot of politicians, their kids are protected, their kids are in some public school somewhere, you know what I'm saying?
private,
um you
private
know
school.
yeah, private school, yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They can protect their kids, you know what I'm saying, but everybody else kids, they're like, oh, y'all would need to fend for yourself, and people come up with these dumb solutions, right? Arm the teachers. No, no. Why would you arm teachers, especially around black kids, when black boys and black girls get punished more harshly than their counterpart? I believe it's like 3 times more harshly than
Mhm.
their counterpart. We watched in 2020 a 6-year-old get put in handcuffs, and
Yeah,
you want a teacher to have a gun? Come on, man. That doesn't make
yeah.
any sense. That make a 6-year-old black child got put in handcuffs because those people couldn't handle, or couldn't, calm the situation down. And you want teachers to have guns? That's just dumb. That's just dumb, and it makes no sense. But yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same things I'm hearing, and um, it was one more thing that I was hearing from, and I think my son mentioned it to me, where it's a part of it was, I guess it was going on Twitter, where someone was saying, oh well, you know black people want to complain about the shooting in Texas, but they won't show up to um, a PTA meeting. And so my son said that, and then it was another guy who repeated that, right? And
Hmm.
I engage because I like, for me, like, when black people have that conversation and they spreading that nonsense to other black people, I'm like, whoa, 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 stop.
Hmm. Hmm.
That doesn't make any sense because again, if you understand any data or what's going on, you're asking single women to show up to PTA meetings as they are not even making enough salary to know that rent is increasing.
Hmm.
And we know that people are working more hours today, but you're asking them to also go to a PTA meeting.
Yeah.
What do you think is more important to them?
Yeah, it's always going to come down to jobs and economics. It really, it really is, and the two don't really they're not even in the ballpark. You know
No,
what I
no,
mean?
it's apples and oranges.
Yeah, it's apples and oranges. Like if you're talking about a school where 40% of the kids are failing, yeah, okay, the PTA meeting wouldn't matter, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But you're talking about somebody busing into a school and killing kids. Like that has nothing to do with the PTA meeting. You know what I mean? And like you're saying, it's just a talking point to demean black people. And really, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And
Always get down to being anti-black, man.
yeah, it's the anti-blackness, and we can't really fall for that stuff, man. Really, like you have to understand the data and the metrics and things of that nature to understand, like you're saying, a lot of the for whatever reason parents don't go to
Mhm.
PTA meetings. I didn't go to too many PTA meetings,
Yeah,
because our kids were good in school. You know what I'm saying? So what am I going to go there for?
yeah,
You know what I mean? So there's plenty of reasons why people don't go to PTA meetings or find it important to go to a PTA meeting. You know what I mean? And I would say that it's more important to go to your school board than it is to your PTA meeting.
yes,
You know what I mean, than to a PTA meeting and this to see changes and stuff. But, you know, at the end of the day, man, it's just these people who are just chaos agents, man. They're just chaos agents and they want to cause as much chaos as possible. And then swoop in kind of like Abbott is trying to do in Texas and be like, I'm the one that can solve this problem. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And you created the problem. You
right,
created the problem. You know what I mean? And then you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything except just saying, sending out thoughts and prayers you know, and demeaning the other side and things of that nature and playing both sidisms and things of that
hmm,
nature. You know what I mean? There's no both sides, man, in this incident, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, somebody said it, like, you know, when the kids got killed in Sandy Hook, didn't do anything, and kids got killed in Parkland, didn't do anything. A dude dragged up 5 suitcases of guns and ammo in Las Vegas, shot up 600 people, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. And now we got another killing, and nothing's going to happen. So
yeah,
because we love our guns more than we love human life. You know what I'm saying? More than we love human life.
yeah.
So yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know if
And
I can add any more to what's probably people already probably looked up and said already. You know what I'm saying? It's just that you know, it really is tough living in a country where half the people don't care. Half the people don't care about you living.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's just tough. It's tough for me. You know.
It's crazy, to add to that point. It's crazy to live in a country that fights for the fetus to live, all to not care to watch it die
Yeah. Once
before it
enough.
became an adult.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
man.
it's insane,
Yeah. It is.
and you almost can't fathom the thought, like, because it's no in between.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, Ted Cruz was a prime example, right? W-
Mm-hmm.
Um, when the reporter from UK was talking to Ted Cruz, what Ted Cruz did was obfuscate from the real question. And these are the problems where you actually have actual politicians that can actually do that's supposed to do the job, but yet they don't want to have the actual debates, the conversations. They rather just run and walk away when the questions they feel are hard, because the reason why that they're hard is because the money that they receive. The NRA having whatever it is that they're having in Texas the next day,
Oh yeah, yeah.
like
They have a
days
little
after,
conference. Hmm.
yeah, the little conference that they had days after the shoot. Like, man, that's insensitive and that's sick.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it's too many psychopaths that we have that have legislative seats.
yeah. The whole power limits county.
Yeah, man. It's honestly beyond me, bro. Like, I broke out in tears.
Mm-hmm.
I broke out in tears because that shit's crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
That shit crazy to sit back and hear about children.
yeah,
They
man.
can't defend themselves, man. And
Yeah,
have
yeah.
grown ass cops get up there and lie
Mm-hmm.
about the whole engagement
Yeah, yeah,
as children try to call them for help.
yeah, man. In that case, it's getting worse and worse, man, as they're putting out more information. With police officers, man, who apparently they stood outside, didn't want to do anything. And people need to understand, man, is that policing in America is not proactive; it's reactive, man.
Yes.
And and part of that, when I served in the military, I served with the idea, understanding that if a gun got put in my hand, I got to use it, right? And it means that the enemy on the other side also has a gun, aimed at me, and I would lose my life. But that's something that I had to do. You know what I'm saying? And there's many people in the military who lost their lives and things of that nature. But if you're a police officer, that's what you signed up to do. You signed up to put yourself in harm's way, man, to protect people, especially protect kids, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they were, yeah, man. Some of the video out there is pretty disturbing. You know what I mean? Pretty, with them not going in and them, you know, uh, interacting with parents and stuff that's trying to go in and get their kids and things of that nature. And then to just have a conference that's just, again, it's just so individualistic because it's not, hey, it wasn't my kid. You know what I'm saying? People out there, with that idea, you know what I'm saying? And again, these same people who are defending, who don't want to come up with anything, who just want to say thoughts and prayers, arming teacher with guns, putting retired vet with a gun or something, whatever dumb decision. These are the same individuals who were okay with kids getting COVID. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
were out there. These are same individuals that were putting out talking points about, the efficacy of, or not that many kids dying. Oh, it was only 100 kids that died. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Right.
not that
Right.
many. It's the
Why
same
should
people.
those 100 kids die?
Exactly. Exactly.
As you then say that you're pro life, why
Exactly.
should they die then?
Yeah, 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 man. And a lot of
Like,
them
that's
groups,
the ridiculousness that we're in.
yeah, yeah, man. We're just in a country where, yeah, man, your neighbor don't care about you, man. And people always wonder, like, how can we get together? How can we, be better? And like, yo, we live in a country where half the country don't care. They don't care whether you live or die, man. That's the problem. They don't care, whether you live or die. They don't, you know, and they only care when it happens to them. So, yeah, yeah, man. You got anything else on that?
Man, no.
Yeah, yeah, man. Uh, we also had a little incident with ice cream. Walmart trying to Columbus Juneteenth and other I guess party supply stores and stuff like that. Coming up with Juneteenth plates, like, yo, and napkins and stuff, like, yo. I was upset when I saw that. You know what I'm saying? I was really upset. You know what I'm saying? When I saw that, you know what I mean? I wasn't as upset as kids getting killed, but
Yeah.
but it's something that we were talking about last year. When Juneteenth became a holiday, that hey, this commercialization is going to happen, and we have to gatekeep. You know what I'm saying? And we really do have to gatekeep because what I mean, just a few weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, you had somebody trying to do a Juneteenth event. You know, the black dude, black Republican, trying to do a Juneteenth event, and there were no black people around.
Yeah.
So how you doing a Juneteenth event? Oh, because you're selling soul food. Oh, I got you. So that's what Juneteenth is about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Well, capitalism doing what capitalism do.
hey, I think that Dr. Carr said
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he was talking about that on Twitter. Yeah.
Just at the end of the day, and I got to give a shout out to the town that I live in, and they're putting together a Juneteenth get together, and man, it everything is led by Black African Americans. Everything
As it should be.
as it should be. Poetry slam, everything culturally. What we are, that's us culturally.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a small town.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Man. It's that thing where like I was telling you, like Juneteenth, we got to gatekeep because we don't want it to turn into Cinco de Mayo. You know what I'm saying? Because Cinco de Mayo, what happens with Cinco de Mayo? You know what I mean? People just be like, oh, I could just go get my half price, margaritas and tequila and tacos, and they wear a sombrero and a funny mustache and ponchos. You know what I mean? And they care less about the culture behind it, right? Or care less about that the history behind Cinco de Mayo in that town that was fighting against slavery. You know what I mean? The connection of Cinco de Mayo to Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? And the Afro Mexicans that were fighting in that war as well. Yeah, man. Like we have to gatekeep so it don't our Black experience don't become a sales pitch at a furniture store where somebody talking about, hey man, hey, this Juneteenth, come get your 40% off in a mule, you know what I'm saying? At the furniture store.
or what did you say the other day?
What's that?
Man, them Cadillac sales.
Yeah.
Juneteenth Cadillac sales, man.
Cadillac sales, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't want nobody dressing up in slave clothing or nothing like that, having auction blocks at the strip club, you know what I'm saying? Like, Juneteenth is about telling a full Black story. It is not just about the liberation of Black people, becoming free. It is telling the totality of the story, and we have to really gatekeep and make sure that the story is being told and it's not being sold.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that Black people pushed against it with social media and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? And pushed against it and got the ice cream pulled off the shelves. You know what I'm saying? And was saying, hey, if you're going to do something for Juneteenth, support a Black business, because Black businesses usually only have 1 or 2 employees, So it's important to support Black businesses during Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? And that Juneteenth don't get Columbus. You know what I mean?
And which Target always laugh at Walmart, right? Target actually went out and got a Black woman who made ice cream and put it in the stores.
Come on, man. How hard is that?
It's not hard, man. It's really not hard.
It's not hard, man. It's not hard. You know what I mean? I think I said something about when I was stationed at a base. I think when I was in Florida, and for Black History Month, they put Hennessy on sale for the whole month. Look, man. After I was upset, I did get me 2 bottles of Hennessy. Like, it was 40 in a mule.
The way the chicken prices are right now, Well, shoot, they need to get some sales on some chicken and watermelon going on.
I don't know what I'm saying, man. These chicken prices, look, man. Look. And you got to cook this week and this weekend. I'm cooking. I got to cook next weekend.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, buying that chicken, boy. I'm telling you, man.
man.
But,
But
it really is something that we talked about, right? Like gatekeeping, man. Gatekeeping the culture, gatekeeping our Black experience, man, because um, if we don't tell our story, somebody else will. You
yes,
know, somebody else will. And I just picked this book up, the Black book. This pretty cool book
oh,
that I saw in Barnes and Nobles, I think, or Books a Million, where I'm at.
hmm
But it's a pretty cool book. They got some like old stories and basically, you know, and, different stories and pulled newspapers from certain times, advertisements and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Um, you know, but we have to do stuff like that, man. While I think it's important people go celebrate Juneteenth, celebrate Juneteenth, celebrating all our blackness, but make sure we telling stories, man. We gotta be telling stories.
yeah,
The good, the bad, the ugly. Tell the
yes,
stories. Because as we know, the same Texas who made it easier to get guns also got rid of CRT, but really they got rid of Black history, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, my bad. I'm
no,
monologuing.
no, you're good, man,
Yeah.
because you're touching on some real stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because people got to see the connections,
Mm-hmm.
right? How history is connected to the decisions that's being made today,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
and how that's also affecting us going forward.
Right, right, right.
Because this is what white supremacy does, right? It always has to put roadblocks in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
The sad part is when I was listening to Pascal, and he was talking about like white supremacy, how people talk about it as a myth,
Right. Mm-hmm. That's true.
and yeah, it was very true, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem, I think, in the example is it's still used as a tool in reality.
Yeah, it's still used. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's still used. It doesn't, you know, and it's always used in a manner to protect wealth,
To protect wealth, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And to
but
protect
you
wealth.
just need the poor to participate.
Right.
But
Right. You get poor people, mainly poor whites, to participate. Shoot, I bought another book. Oh, and that's what this book is. Working Towards Whiteness. This book talks about how American immigrants became white. The strange journey from Ellis Island to the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? And you don't become white along the way without white supremacy, which
yes,
means you're giving up your culture, you're giving up language, you're giving up all these things which Black people shouldn't do. You know what I mean? When we talk about Juneteenth, you know what I mean? And like you're saying, with white supremacy, people think white supremacy is like pointy hats or somebody yelling the N-word. Like,
mhm,
no, white supremacy comes in. White supremacy is Candace Owens. You know what I'm saying?
right.
White supremacy is somebody saying, "Well, what about Chicago?" You know what I mean?
Herschel Walker.
Yeah, it's Herschel Walker. Yeah, yeah. Clarence Thomas. I mean, like,
Mhm.
they are there to protect the power structure, to protect the hierarchy. That's what they're
Mhm.
there for. You know what I'm saying? And that's what white supremacy is. That the Buffalo shooter wrote in his, they don't want to say manifesto, but he wrote 180 pages. This is what he was talking about. You know what I mean? A lot of the conversations in Roe v. Wade is about white people, you know what I'm saying? Uh, basically being wiped out by other melanated peoples. That's
Yeah,
what this conversation
essentially.
Roe v. Wade is about because white people from America are having less children, and if they are having children, they're having children with different ethnic, background, somebody
Mhm.
different ethnic background. Um, you know, so a lot of this stuff, man. That's why I hear things about replacement theory or replacement theory and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Because people, they see it. You know what I mean? They see it. They see it in data. They see it in numbers. This is why voter suppression is happening.
Mhm.
Um, this is why you stop teaching you stop teaching about CRT, even though no schools teach CRT. The whole point is that you take away uh, an individual's identity, right? So
Right.
they don't no longer identify with being black. You don't longer identify with a culture that has a history of going against power structures, right? Like black people, you know what I mean? We've always went against the government in some way, some way, fashion, because the government was used as a tool for black people. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Against
Mhm.
black people. I'm sorry. So yeah, man, people think white supremacy is this boogeyman or this entity. Like, nah, man, it's policing practices. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's somebody writing a 100-page manifesto and then driving 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours to go shoot up black people going grocery shopping.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. It's the banks working not to finance to to get a grocery store in your neighborhood.
in your neighborhood, yeah.
You
It's,
know, it
yeah.
it's so many different factions
It's
of
so
white
many-
supremacy because
yeah,
their job is literally to keep you busy.
is to keep you big.
So
That's what Toni Morrison said.
yeah, like
Mhm.
and it's not complicated to figure out, right? And the other caveat to it is like people have to understand the moment, and
Mhm.
in the moment, white supremacy is going global.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Global. Hmm.
Yeah, Victor Orban, like all of these people,
Hmm.
what they're doing is going around talking about replacement theory,
Hmm.
talking about all of these things, but not realizing the very policies that they supported up until now gave them the results that are happening now.
Yeah,
With jobs moving out, the crash of the middle class. Well, who do you think that that's going to affect?
yeah.
They thought it was going to affect just brown people, but it ended up affecting also white people.
White people. Yeah, it affected them. That's why they're so hell bent on immigration, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's why they're getting black faces talking about immigration, right? We got a individual here running here in South Carolina trying to unseat Clyburn. That's all he talks about is immigration, and he's running as a Democrat, and he's black. That's all he talks about is immigration. And when he's talking about immigration, he's always going after other black ethnic groups. So he's always
right.
going after people from Africa, from Haiti, Jamaica, DR. You know what I'm saying? South America. But you know what I'm saying? And of course, the whole Adolf FBA thing, it comes out of Fair John Tanton. John Tanton was a big he was a white supremacist. Oh, he's a white nationalist. He's a white nationalist. One of his favorite books that he liked to read was called the Great Race. That is where the replacement theory comes in. You know what I'm saying? It was a book written in 1919. I think it's called The Great Race. I'm gonna have to look it up. Uh, but yeah, it was written in 1919. John Tanton like reading that book, and then in 1972, this dude in France wrote another book that talked about the great replacement, you know,
Yeah,
uh, and things of that nature. So yeah, man,
book that
it's,
book that
it's all,
Trump used to keep on his desk.
yeah, man, I mentioned it last week, and I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, because it was Steve Bannon's favorite book. Him
Hmm.
and Stephen Miller, their favorite book,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
uh, Camp of the Saints. That's what it is.
Camp of the Saints. Yes, yeah.
Camp of the Saints. Camp of the Saints. So all these things tie together. Roe v. Dismantling in a row. You know what I mean? Um, Again, it kind of reminds me of the story of when Mississippi they become like the first state to institute voter suppression laws like poll taxes and things of that nature. And they did so knowing that they were going to disenfranchise 12,000 white people. They didn't care. because they disenfranchised 100,000 African Americans. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's what all this is about. They don't care about, you know what I mean? That's why people are like, oh, a lot of the legislation and the language with a lot of this stuff is like they don't care about, people getting, women getting raped, you know what I mean? And things of that nature, having a baby, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, as long as that baby white,
Yeah,
you know.
because they just become casualties, right? Casualty of the um of the psychological war,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and also physical war because it turns
Physical,
into physical,
they turn into
um,
physical,
and economic war. Like
economic.
they become the casualty, but
Mm-hmm.
but because they look at it that, well, as long as one group, Black, Hispanic, those groups are affected more,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we have achieved what we wanted to do.
Right. Right, because again, with the row, and I know we weren't supposed to be talking about row, but the it's about women's health. You know what I'm saying? And women having access to health.
Yeah.
And it's about their privacy, and it's about privacy. You know what I'm saying? But if you strip away the privacy, which is attached to the 14th Amendment, you can strip away other things that the court ruled that the 14th Amendment uh, uh, um, that the 14th Amendment gives power to. One of
Mhm.
those things is Brown v. Board, Brown v. Board of Education. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, because uh, because we were given rights as citizens in this country by way of the 14th Amendment, Brown v. Board said, hey, your taxes, everybody should be, all schools basically should be the same, because everybody's paying taxes, the
Mhm.
same. And so, when people say that this country is like falling apart, man, they look, man, it's a certain generation. It's baby boomers, they are, and some Gen Xers, and they are tearing this country up, man. And it's just sad. It's just sad,
Yeah, man, I like to call it the last great fight,
man. Yeah, yeah.
because that's what's happening. Like baby boomers are they're coming to their last,
Hmm.
and they're giving their last fight,
Hmm.
right? But they're also trying, while they're giving their last fight, they're also trying to train the next generations
Yep.
um, how to maintain
Hmm.
um, these power structures.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep.
And sadly, um, Black folk, because we have not been told our story, that we're also becoming a casualty,
Hmm.
um, to also be weaponized against our own group.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and you see it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
see it on. You know what I'm saying? You know, uh, the whole FBA ADOS thing.
Mhm.
Dealing with individuals like Jason Whitlock and Candace Owens, Larry Elder, and dealing with and there's plenty of 'em, plenty more of them.
Stallwell,
Who's that?
Stallwell.
Oh yeah, 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 man. Oh man, people love they love Thomas Sowell, man. Have you
Yeah,
have,
but
have you read Thomas Sowell? Like, no, I no, no,
no historian takes him seriously.
no, exactly, no
And
historian
they
seriously.
they you know it was one guy, and he brought Stallwell up. And so I said, "Well, name me one historian that takes him seriously."
None.
And
It's
he
it's really
couldn't answer it. I said, because what he's doing is not historically factual in any sense.
right, 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 and yeah, he's clever with a lot of his words. There
Yes.
aren't any black economists that takes him too serious.
No, no.
It's just not. There are plenty of black economists out there.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, conservative, you know,
They're black,
on the left wing,
yeah, yeah. They
he
don't
is
take.
not one that they take seriously.
Nah, man. Nah, man. Only those bigoted white folks, man. That's
Yes.
They love, man. They'll talk about Thomas Sowell in a heartbeat.
Yeah, he want to get his biscuits and gravy.
Oh man, it's crazy, crazy. And he used to be a socialist. He's a socialist. It's crazy. To go that hard right is from being a socialist. Um, was crazy. Um, yeah, just crazy. It's like Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas was, by all intents and purposes, he was a black nationalist. He was like, he was like a, I won't say like a Malcolm X, but like a Mary Baraka or Kwame Ture. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Yeah, he believed in all that stuff. You know what I'm
wow.
saying? And yeah, he just made that hard right, man. It's crazy, crazy, man. But yeah, man. But
Get paid, man. Gotta get
what's
paid.
that?
I said, gotta get paid.
Hey, gotta get paid. Hey, but yeah, man. But hey, like we saying, man, you can't like Columbus and Juneteenth, man. Juneteenth, we have to gatekeep. We have to gatekeep. We have to gatekeep. You can't let people just, we can't go to a Juneteenth event, enjoy food, enjoy music, enjoy culture. You know what I'm saying? Um, get with folks, and tell a story. You know what I'm saying? Like, about the black experience.
Yeah,
About perseverance. You know what I mean? But by all means, don't go to Walmart and buy no Juneteenth ice cream. That says great
yeah,
value. you might as well put on a sombrero at that point. Call it Cinco de Mayo, man. For real. Just what I mean? Start the 40% off in a mule, dog. Crazy, man. Crazy, man. But yeah, you had anything else on that, man?
no, no, man.
Yeah, okay. You wanted to talk about the Sixth Amendment or the that Supreme Court case
So,
or what
so
Supreme Court
we
did?
can dive. Yeah, we can dive into this. So they haven't made a decision yet, right? But
Hmm.
they released the papers um,
Hmm.
of their dissents and so forth.
Hmm.
Um, and people, man, the news media is so horrible in this country. Yeah, goodness gracious.
Hmm.
So they're not even talking about it and making people understand like how important this is.
Hmm.
Because you can just simply just go to, well, what about traffic tickets? You know what I'm saying? You're
Hmm.
not going to jail, but you need a lawyer.
Right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying? Like, and to not talk about it in that simple sense for people to understand, well, who got $1,500 to sit back and pay for a lawyer for a traffic ticket that costs $100?
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and people don't see the game that's happening, that financially when they put these kind of rulings in, again, it's to funnel money up up upward.
Right. It's to use policing as a collection agency for gathering money. I mean, really, shoot, I think that was during the Obama years they did that. They did it when they did the consent decree, and they did an investigation, and I can't remember one. I think it was Cincinnati. I don't know which one. Um, but there was a police department that was basically using their power, using to collect money. So they'll pull people over, basically over policing people, pulling
Yeah,
people over. Of course, they knew these individual, giving them high priced, tickets and things of that nature. Doing a lot of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's what policing is. A lot of times is giving people tickets so the city can get money. Where do you think the money go? you know
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and who gets who's going to be the ones getting pulled over? Well, the people that get over policed. You know,
hmm
so in these communities and in certain communities and things of that nature. So and it's really, and like you're saying, yeah, who got time for a lawyer, man? Why did you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't get another lawyer. You taking that
Yeah.
away. So
Yeah.
I only get one time to get defense, as noted in the Fifth Amendment. You know what I mean? One time,
Yeah.
one shot.
One shot. And once they said once you ex, ex, expel that one,
Mm-hmm.
they feel as though you have the duty to pick up the calls.
Oh Lord have mercy.
And it was very clear
Why they said that?
why they said it.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess who's in the court system the most?
Yeah, exactly.
It's another tax.
Yeah, it's just no way of tax. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's really what the courts is. It's just tax. That's really what a lot of policing and criminal justice system is. It's taxes, man. It's just
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know, 'cause I always said that, like, coming from Europe, like, instead of having police posted up to catch people speeding, they just got cameras up in certain areas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you know, you don't need a lawyer to like, oh, here's your ticket. You know what I mean? Pay it, and if you don't
Right.
pay it, then bad things happen. Not in
Yeah.
America, they say, here's a ticket. In order for you need to show up to someplace and pay it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just,
So you know what's weird? What I find about that
hmm
is they have all data showing that police stops are the deadliest encounters that police will face.
hmm
Right. But like what you're saying is instead of them using technology to keep the police safe, they rather say the blue line matters.
Blue line, man. I mean, they spend money on helicopters and tanks and rocket launchers and military stuff that they probably don't need. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, if they matter, then how about let's not have them over police the highway. Let's
Yeah,
not have them over policed for people, you know, loitering
man.
because they're seeing a friend.
Look, when I was driving the back from the airport, man, there was a police car sitting in the median. I'm just like, what a waste of money.
Just waste.
Like, it's just a waste. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a waste. Another individual that could probably be doing something, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Other than just trying to, catch somebody speeding or something and hope and luck into, finding drugs, guns, or
right.
kidnapping, something like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just a waste, man. Just a
Yeah,
waste.
yeah, it's a complete waste because at the end of the day, when you go to again all FBI studies,
hmm
they only catching 15% of rapists. They
Yeah,
only catching 17% of murderers. Like,
it's,
yeah,
it's,
how
it's
about get
reactive.
them off the highway and they can spend time doing that?
Yeah, it's reactive instead of being proactive, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. All right, bro. You had anything else, man?
No, man, no. Like I said, we got some celebrations going on, man.
hmm
And
Yeah, man.
you know, my mantra right now is basically, man, celebrate every moment.
Absolutely.
Celebrate every black moment. I'm
Absolutely.
gonna, I'm gonna say it like that.
Absolutely.
Celebrate it because every roadblock that they place, that is a ceiling that we will break.
Yeah. And on that, man, we gonna end on that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Appreciate y'all who's going to tune in, man. Yeah, man. We'll catch you, man. We're gonna be busy. We got a lot of celebrating to do here over the next 2 weeks. So we'll see you.
Yeah. Go get
Yeah.
your 40% off Juneteenth Hennessy.
Okay, 40% off at a Cadillac.